Hey class, Mrs. Gilling back here with some more discussion instructions for you. Hopefully these are helpful for you. Before I get into that, I do have a joke for you and a little bit of background on this one. I have a 5-year-old daughter, and this is her absolute favorite joke, and she tells it way better than I do, so I probably should have just brought her in for this, but you get me. So pretend I'm a 5-year-old in kindergarten telling you this joke, and you'll probably laugh a little bit harder. Okay. Do you want to hear a joke about pizza? I can't tell you. It's too cheesy. And it's right. It is cheesy. But when my 5-year-old tells this joke and she cracks herself up laughing, I laugh too. So hopefully we're all laughing a little bit together. And you know what? I bet at least one of you is going to tell someone this joke and it'll brighten their day. So hopefully you liked it. If not, hopefully you like this discussion prompt. You ready? Okay, please watch the above video. On all of the discussion posts, I give you a video to watch to help you with the prompt. So watch the video and then write at least one complete sentence for each of the following questions. A cool thing about this video is it was actually made by high school students and they did a really good job. They explained very well in great detail what the Roaring Twenties were like. And so I thought it would be cool for you guys to watch a video made by students just like you and learn from them. So with all the other discussion posts, make sure you're not just copying and pasting something from a website. All the information you need is truly in that video and in these awesome brains that you guys have. So make sure it's in your own words. By the time you're done with this post, you should have at least 6 sentences. So the first question is, what did they mean in the video when they said there was a rise in consumerism? So you could start your sentence off there by saying, in the video, they said there was a rise in consumerism, which means, put in what you think that means in your own words. 2, what was one cultural change that came about in the 1920s? So one cultural change that came about in the 1920s was, that'd be a great way for you to start that. Number 3, what was one transportation change that came about in the 1920s? Number 4, what was one political change made in the 1920s? And then in number 5, we get into your own opinion. This is the most important part. So in your opinion, what was the most important invention of the 1920s? So they're going to list in this video a lot of different inventions. You get to pick which one you think was the most important. And then for number 6, you're going to explain how that invention impacts your life today. Then the specific part, most important part, the reason why it's in all capitals is your. I don't want this to be a broad answer. I don't want you to say it impacts the United States today because, or it impacts some people because. Think of your life and give a specific example from your life on how that invention is still important to you today. I'm sure I don't want anyone to write, oh, nothing, oh, it doesn't, because there are all those inventions in there. It'll impact you in some way. You will find at least one thing where you are still impacted today by it. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys share here. Here's how you'll be graded on this one. So you get 15 points for explaining what the video meant by a rise in consumerism. You get 10 points for sharing one cultural change that came about in the 1920s, 10 points for sharing one transportation change that came about in the 1920s, 10 points for sharing one political change that happened in the 1920s. You get 15 points for sharing your opinion on what the most important invention of the 1920s was. And then you also get 15 points for explaining, analyzing how that invention impacts your life today. Again, make sure it's a specific example from your life. For your grammar and sentence requirement, you get 25 points. Make sure you're starting with capital letters, ending with punctuation, and that you have at least 6 sentences. And if you do all of that, you should be golden. Get 100%. Love giving out hundreds to my students. So there's that. Okay. If you have any questions, please let me know as always. But other than that, thank you so much for watching. Good luck, guys.